the petition, and it said, please try to talk to your neighbors. So on 2 separate occasions, I tried to talk to them. I initially said, can we introduce our dogs so that they get along? They're not strangers to each other. And she wouldn't say anything. She just pulled her dog away and put it inside. Another time I went over there to talk to her, and she kicked the door in my face. So that's when I left the notes after that. Started documenting everything with the dates and the times that the dog was barking. And then they picked up another dog, and then that dog started barking, not as much as the other dog. So I've been documenting this for several months because they want the dates and the times on there. And I have the witnesses that would say what's going on with this as far as the amount of dogs. So I bought a dog barking deterrent device, which that's the 2 receipts on there. I had it hanging on my property, pointed towards their backyard, because it's not supposed to be hung any more than 5 feet off the ground. It was out in the open, visible, and right away it started working. And I was like counting the days or the weeks. It said give it 2 weeks to work. Well, about half a week later, I noticed it's missing. So I called the police to make a report. They went next door because I'm assuming that it was taken by them. And the police said that she wouldn't answer the door. So I went and bought another one. And it's up on my property, right where he said it is, but it doesn't work because it's too high off the ground. So the only time that I've been on their property, Your Honor, is when I've gone over there to talk to them or leave the notes. Other than that, I have not stepped foot on their property one time. I called her at work to say, I spent a week in Mexico, literally just to take a break from the stress of the barking. I work from home. So listening to a dog bark 12, 15, 16 hours a day will drive anybody crazy. So I get back from Mexico, and the dog is barking as soon as I pull in the driveway for 5 hours. And I called her at work because I didn't have her number. The notes weren't working. She wouldn't talk to me. I said, Laura, this is what I'm listening to for the last 5 hours. And from what I could hear, she said, don't ever call me here again, and hung up.
Okay. Have you ever called her again?
No, I only called her one time at work.
Have you ever gone to her workplace?
I've been a resident of this neighborhood. This is a restaurant.
Have you ever gone to...
Yes, it's a restaurant.
Okay.
I was there with my family, that in reference to what she has on the petition. I went with my son and 2 of my neighbors.
Did you speak to her when you were at the restaurant?
Not once.
Okay.
We sat in the back. She said that I was walking back and forth past her. The restroom is past the bar. She's the bartender. I went to the restroom once, came back. I was outside in the patio area waiting for
Had you gone to that restroom?
Yes,
Had you gone to that restaurant before?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I have a question for you. Do you have a copy of the police report?
Which one, ma'am?
Regarding the oil?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen a copy of the police report?
No.
Okay, let me look at it and then...
I have a question for you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, you just want me to bring the report up?
I would like you to bring the report up.
And also in regards...
Okay, and I would like to take a minute to read it, please. Mr. Butler.
Yes.
Okay, the officers did come out
Should be.
Yes, they did.
on August 21st.
Mhm.
Okay, the officer, it's not that she alleged, she did, but the officer actually went and observed and saw a stool
Mhm.
on your side of the property up against the fence and stated that there was, can't be certain that it's oil, but there was some kind of liquid residue on the fence. How do you explain that?
I can.
Do you have a stool in your backyard?
I have many stools like that, and they're scattered throughout
are
the
any
property.
have any of them been up against the fence?
Yes,
Okay, and why would that be?
because there's a ping pong table right there. So, and then
Well, but a ping pong table, you're telling me, is right up against the fence?
no. It's in the backyard, but it's part of the old driveway.
Okay,
So
but
ping
this
pong
is a
table.
stool. The officer, and this is not what she said, this is the officer's
understand.
own observation, that there was a stool. There's no mention of a ping pong table or anything else. What was the purpose of the stool being up against the fence?
The stools are placed throughout the yard for people to sit, and
And they just coincidentally, one stool was up against the fence where all these barking dogs were?
yes,
You do understand that that doesn't seem logical.
I understand.
If these dogs are barking and disturbing your peace, it doesn't seem logical that you would put a stool up against the fence for a guest to sit. It would seem like the stool would be someplace else in the backyard.
Well, there's no place to go for silence in the backyard when the
That's
dogs are
not
barking.
the issue.
I
The
understand.
issue is that you put the stool up against the fence. I'm not saying her dog should be barking. I'm not saying I've made my decision. But you do understand that it doesn't look so good on your side on this particular issue.
I understand.
Because regardless of the oil, if you have dogs that are already barking, to encourage a visitor to sit up against the fence by having a stool, that's just going to aggravate the situation, regardless of the oil. Does that seem like a good decision?
Based on where the ping pong table is and where
Okay,
people sit.
I'm not asking you about the ping pong table. I'm asking you about the stool. People do not sit when they're playing ping pong.
No, but
They
other
stand.
People, okay.
They could be on the opposite side of the ping pong table. They don't need to be up against the fence. Would you not agree?
While you're playing ping pong, no. I do agree.
Okay. What else do you want to say? It says that just so that you know what the report says, and this is the officer's words, not reporting what she said. That is in a different paragraph. This is the investigation. It says, I entered the backyard of Gary Butler's house. There did not appear to be any items around for cooking oil or any cooking oils left out. When I checked the wall which connects to Laura's property and Gary's property, I observed a chrome and black stool which is up against the wall on Gary's side, meaning though your side, but the sharing wall, where the oil stain was in accordance with, I lost my place, in accordance with Gary's rear yard. The oil stain matched up directly with where the stool was placed. I did not observe any oil on Gary's side of the fence. Inside the kitchen, Gary's house appeared to be pots and pans, but there didn't appear to have any items inside. So the officer says that he didn't see the oil, but the officers wrote in the report that there was residue that looked or could possibly be like oil right where the stool was. It's kind of a coincidence.
I agree.
Okay. Anything else that you want to say?
Well, in relation to this incident, I was gone the entire day. I arrived I was back for maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes with my friend here.
Okay, you pretty much have stated that, okay? The first person, what is your name?
Eileen Bell.
Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Is what you're going to tell me the same as what he's going to tell me, or is there anything different that you would like to tell me?
Well, I'd like to say that I can't even, I've known Gary a long time, for 15 years. He's been a neighbor and a friend. And he's not an abusive person. He's not anybody to be afraid of. The dogs I have experienced, there's 2 dogs next door, not just one, 2. And they are in concert. They are constant. He's come over to my house almost in tears, stressed. He says that these dogs don't,
Okay,
stop.
so he's definitely been agitated and upset by the dogs.
I mean, and he's been trying to do it on a, he's a pacifist. He's not an aggressive person at all.
Okay, sir, what is your name?
Chad Lober?
Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, are you going to basically say the same thing that the first witness said?
Yes.
Anything additional?
Yeah, I was there the night where she was coming home from work and he was yelling at her. He was yelling at her to get her attention because there was confrontation between the 2 gentlemen. He never threatened to kill the dog or anything like that. So he just kept trying to say, we're neighbors, it doesn't have to be like this, can we get along? He was trying to get conversation going, but they're both just at defensive mode and
Okay.
nothing was really being communicated. But he was trying to, say that, we're neighbors, it doesn't have to be like this, trying to get along. And he has his own dog that was attacked
Okay.
by that pit bull and had
Okay, but he
stitches.
hasn't stated that, so that's not going to be an issue. Okay. What is your name?
Ron Newkirk.
Okay, Mr. Newkirk, you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, do you have anything to say that any of the other parties, anything different that any of the other parties have said? Anything additional?
Not too much other than just being witness to being there while the dog's barking all day long and being in his backyard. And the only other thing I could think of is, as far as the stool incident, I've seen that stool move around that backyard. I live 2 blocks away and I've known him for about 5 years. I've been in the neighborhood for about 4. Just being in his backyard, the stool will sit there because his painting studio's there. And then if I go over towards the other back building, I mean, I've seen it by that back wall
Okay.
dozens of times.
Your name was what?
Ron Newkirk?
Newkirk.
Yep.
And sir, your name again?
Chad Lober?
Lober, L-O-B-E-R? Luber, L-U.
Hello.
I was right the first time.
You got it. And then
Okay, and your name, please.
Eileen Bell.
Bell? Boy, nice, easy names. Okay.
We have a witness as well, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, can I say something before this goes?
Okay, we're not going to keep
Yes, ma'am.
rehashing. You're not going to agree.
Right,
If you have something different to say, but I mean, we could talk for 24 hours. You two are never
Right.
going to agree.
Right. I agree with you on that, and I agree that there was a dog problem, but we've addressed the dog problem. I was wondering if, I realize this. I don't think that there'll be an answer to the dog barking that's going to make him happy, because we do have a dog and there's a situation